It was a cold evening in a small town where people knew each other by name. The streetlights flickered as a young man named Arjun sat on a bench staring at the dark sky. His heart was heavy with a burden only he knew. He had just lost his job, fired for a mistake he didn't commit. But instead of standing up for himself, he had stayed silent. His mind replayed the moment again and again. His manager had accused him of stealing company funds, but the real culprit was someone else. Arjun knew the truth, but fear of losing his reputation held him back. Now he had lost his job anyway, and his honesty had remained unspoken. As he sat there, an old man with a calm face and wise eyes approached him. He was known as Guruji, a retired professor who spent his days helping people. Seeing Arjun's troubled face, he asked, "What is troubling you, son?" Arjun hesitated but then spoke, "Guruji, does honesty always bring good results? Because today I lost everything because I was honest, yet I stayed silent." Guruji smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story, and then you tell me if honesty is a burden or a strength." Many years ago, in a kingdom ruled by a wise king, there lived a merchant named Veer. He was famous for his honesty, and people trusted him blindly. He never cheated, never lied, and always kept his promises. Because of this, his shop flourished, and he was respected by everyone. One day, a rich man named Sagar visited his shop. He was jealous of Veer's success and wanted to ruin him. He came up with a plan. He bought a large amount of goods from Veer and paid him with gold coins. However, before leaving, he secretly slipped a fake gold coin into the pile. A week later, Sagar returned, furious. "Veer, you cheated me. You gave me a fake gold coin," he shouted. The news spread like wildfire. People gathered around to see what would happen. Veer, without panicking, said, "I don't remember giving you a fake coin, but if I did, it was never my intention." Sagar smirked, thinking Veer would now lose his reputation. But what Veer did next shocked everyone. He took out all the money he had earned from the transaction and said, "Take it all. I would rather lose my wealth than my honesty." The crowd murmured. Some doubted Veer, but most respected his integrity. The king, who had heard about the incident, called both men to his palace. There, he ordered a jeweler to check all the coins. To everyone's surprise, only one coin was fake, the one Sagar had accused Veer of giving him. The king turned to Sagar and said, "You tried to deceive an honest man, but his truth has exposed your lies." Sagar was punished, and Veer's reputation grew even stronger. The king rewarded him for his honesty, and people trusted him even more. Guruji finished the story and looked at Arjun. "Do you see now? Honesty might bring temporary trouble, but in the end, truth always wins." Arjun thought deeply. He realized that hiding his honesty was the real reason for his suffering. Had he spoken up, he might still have his job. Instead of fearing the truth, he should have embraced it. That night, he made a decision. He would go back and tell the truth. The next day, Arjun gathered his courage and walked into his former office. His manager was surprised to see him. "Sir, I have something to say." Arjun began. "I did not steal the money, and I stayed silent because I was afraid. But today, I choose honesty. The real culprit is..." He took a deep breath and pointed to the real thief. The manager was shocked. After investigating, it was found that Arjun was telling the truth. The real thief was caught, and Arjun was offered his job back. But something had changed in Arjun. He no longer feared standing up for what was right. From that day on, he lived by a new principle. Honesty is not just about telling the truth, it's about standing by it, even when it's difficult. Years later, Arjun became a well-known businessman, famous for his honesty. People trusted him, and his success grew beyond what he had imagined. Whenever someone asked him the secret of his success, he smiled and said, "Honesty is like a seed. At first, it seems small and weak, but if you protect it and nurture it, it grows into a mighty tree that can never be uprooted.